Hello YouTube! As you can tell, the bookshelf behind me is looking a little sparse. But we're about to fix that because I have quite possibly the largest amount of books I have ever bought in my entire life. It's massive, so let's see if we can put this all in one video. Let's go! Book haul number 1. The first book that I got is by an author whom I've read and I loved his other book that he's written. It is Songs of Willow Frost by Jamie Ford. And this is supposed to be really good. It's about a Chinese American boy who goes on a search for this woman he sees who looks exactly like his mother who had passed away. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. The next 2 books I got are Where the Mountain Meets the Moon and Starry River of the Sky. These are both by Grace Lin. They're children's books and they have a Chinese folklore feel to them. They're partially inspired by that. I'm really excited to read these, and the cover is just beautiful on this one. And well, this one too, but I love this purple. So yeah, I'm excited for these. The next 2 are 2 books that also go together. It's Shanghai Girls and Dreams of Joy by Lisa C. This is the first book and this is the second book. This is about 2 sisters who marry Chinese American husbands and just sort of their lives. And this book revolves around one of their daughters. The next book is The Old Capital by Yasunari Kawabata. This is a translated novel. It was originally written in Japanese and it's set in Kyoto, Japan, and it's about a family who I believe they make kimonos. They design kimonos, and I've heard that this is one of the books that this author has been critically acclaimed for. It's one of the reasons he won an award, so I'm really excited to read this. The next book I've already actually read before I could film this haul, but it was really good. It's Till We Have Faces by C.S. Lewis. And this book is a retelling of the myth of Cupid and Psyche through the eyes of Psyche's sister Uriel, I think, or Orul. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah. So that's next. We have Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I've never read this, but I've heard it's very good and it's a classic, so I want to read it. The next book is East of the Sun, West of the Moon by Jackie Morris. This is a retelling of the original East of the Sun, West of the Moon, which is a fairy tale that was collected from the north. I can't remember exactly where. But East of the Sun, West of the Moon is a mixture of Beauty and the Beast and the myth of Cupid and Psyche, and that has its own elements as well. It was a very cool fairy tale, and this retelling is amazing. This book was so beautiful. It's short, it's only like 160 pages, but this is totally worth reading, and it has these beautiful illustrations in it. So that's really cool. The next book is Princess Academy by Shannon Hale. I read this a long time ago. I borrowed it from my little sister and I really remember liking it, but I can't really remember exactly what it's about. And my sister doesn't have her copy anymore, so I got this one to put on my bookshelf. The next book is actually one of my favorite books from my childhood. This is the book that made me fall in love with fairy tale retellings. This book has influenced me so much. It is Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine. This is a retelling of Cinderella, where Ella is cursed to be obedient, so she has to do whatever people tell her to do. So it's a little different take on the story, but it's really good. If you haven't read this, I would definitely recommend this. The next book is also by Gail Carson Levine. It's Writing Magic. This is a book about writing, writing fairy tales, really writing anything. And I've already finished it. It was very helpful to me. I write, so I found it very helpful. Of course, I love reading her take on writing because she wrote Ella Enchanted, which is one of my favorite books. Next we have Rump, The True Story of Rumpelstiltskin by Liesl Shurtleff, I think is how you say it. This is a children's young adult book. It, like I said, it's like the title says, it retells the story of Rumpelstiltskin and makes him the protagonist instead of the creepy antagonist. The next book is actually another retelling of Rumpelstiltskin. It's called Rumpelstiltskin. It's by Jenny James, and it's part of the fairy tale collection that which is just these series of books of retelling of fairy tales. This one is more of a teen, older, young adult book. And this one is a romance about Rumpelstiltskin, and I haven't started it yet, but it's supposed to be really good. The next book was written by one of my favorite actors because I love Gilmore Girls. It is Someday, Someday Maybe by Lauren Graham, and I am so excited to read this book because I just love Gilmore Girls. My mom, my sister, and I watch it. We rewatch it because we have the DVDs of it, and so I'm just so excited for this one. The next book is Between the Lines by Jodi Picoult and her daughter Samantha Van Leer. This is about a fairy tale prince who comes into our world and meets the protagonist of the story, and I'm assuming they fall in love. So that one should be pretty interesting considering I love fairy tales, and that's kind of an interesting take on it. Next book is The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. This is contemporary romance, young adult. I've heard it's really good, so I'm excited. I love that genre. The next book is also contemporary young adult romance. This is What Happy Looks Like by also by Jennifer E. Smith. I didn't realize they were by the same author when I ordered them. That's cool. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Next is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is a classic. I read it when I was younger, and I'm looking forward to rereading it. The next book is huge. It is Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know I was reading Rhett Butler's People earlier this month, and I loved it, and I love this movie. And I've actually read some of this before, but I lost my copy, so I'm finally going to finish it. And if you're going to read Gone with the Wind, you need to read the sequel authorized novel, Scarlet, by Alexandra Ripley. This finally completes all like the Gone with the Wind sequels and authorized stuff, so I'm really excited to read this. I don't want to spoil the ending of Gone with the Wind for anyone, but most people probably already know that they do not end up together, Rhett and Scarlet, at the end of Gone with the Wind. However, in Scarlet, things change, so we will see what happens there. The next book, yes, there's more, is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I don't think this one really needs any explanation. It's a classic, and it's pretty, renowned, I guess, as far as classics go. The next book is by one of my favorite authors. It is A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court by Mark Twain. I love the King Arthur books, and I love Mark Twain, and I've heard really good things about this classic, so I'm looking forward to reading it. The next novel is also contemporary young adult romance. It is The Distance Between Us by Casey West, and I'm looking forward to this. What really interests me about this book, as funny as it is that the guy's name is Xander. I just thought that was a cool name, so that's how I ended up getting this. The next few books are, first of all, a box set of Jane Austen's novels. They're not all of them. It is just Persuasion, Sense and Sensibility, and Pride and Prejudice. And I also got Emma in separately because these are the books I really want to read this year. If you saw my 2014 goals, you know I want to read at least 3 Jane Austen books, so at least 3 of these will be read this year. The next 2 books are Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I've heard really good things about these on BookTube, and I know Isla and the Happily Ever After is coming out this year, so I really wanted to read these and see if I liked them, and then maybe get Isla and the Happily Ever After. The next 3 books are all by Sarah Dessen. They are The Moon and More, Along for the Ride, and Lock and Key. And then I got Teen Idol by Meg Cabot. Meg Cabot has written The Princess Diaries, and she's also written one of my other favorite books called Avalon High. The last 2 things on my book list are actually box sets. So the first one we have is The Complete Adventures of the Borrowers by Mary Norton. There are 5 books, as you can see, and I'm really looking forward to reading this series. I love the movie The Secret World of Arietti, so I'm really thinking I'm going to love this too. And finally, the last box set is the Twilight Saga box set, the White Collection. This set is so beautiful. I gave my old the original set to my little sister, and so I wanted to get a new set, and I'm so happy I was able to find one of these in new condition. Well, now we have to put the books back, so let's do that. That's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you real soon.